Hello everybody, it's me, Avery, and welcome to my Week 9 Semifinals video versus Matt. Now, me and Matt fought Week 1, so it's super cool to get the rematch in playoffs, so I'm really excited for this match. But yeah, before we start, quick disclaimer, I've been, like, absolutely exhausted, like, falling asleep like all the time exhausted these past couple of days, so I'm not putting like as much effort into this video as before. Like, I don't have all of the different slides and stuff like that. It's like just the team and the replay review because I've been procrastinated. I'm really tired. It's almost Christmas and I want to hang out with my friends, so apologies, but the Pokemon that I brought to this match. Well, actually, I mean, I can say it. Pokemon that were really scary. Zeraora was really concerning. Togekiss was really concerning. And Mew. Those are the three scariest mons. For me. Yeah. Pokemon number 1, and my main win condition in this matchup, Screamtail. I have enough special attack to Oko specially defensive Garganacl at +4 with Calm Mind. Like, after 4 Calm Minds. Substitute is just that against Garganacl I can dodge Salt Cure, because Salt Cure only has a 12.3% chance of 2-hit KOing my sub, and I'm faster than Ogerpon, yeah, just Teal Ogerpon. I have Terra Electric because even if it's an Encore Togekiss, Terra Electric means that Air Slash doesn't do much, and I can't be Thunder Waved, so it lets me set up a lot of Calm Minds, and then once I break out of the Encore, I can just go ham. And Terra Electric is also really nice into Zeraora, because you resist those Plasma Fists or those Thunderbolts. Pokemon number 2, Physical Zeraora is a big threat to my team, especially setup, so I'm running, oh, whoops, this is Speed, it should be Spadef. I'm running Rhydon coming off the bench after week 3. I have, just my dual stabs for, like, maximum damage because that combination is unresisted, and Dragon Tail, which can let me rack up Hazard Chip, well, more specifically Stealth Rock and a Secret Hazard you'll see later, chip on a bunch of his different mons. So if he goes Ogerpon, I deal 25% to it, and then I phase it out. And if it's taking hazards on top of that, then it just wears down the Rhydon checks and can open up a Screamtail endgame. My next Pokemon is Shaman. I'm going with a lot bulkier of a team style, like more, like passive to start because I don't think I have the tools to just muscle through his team when he has Garganacl and Togekiss. So here we have a leftovers mixed defensive Shaman. I have enough attack to 3-hit KO max HP Zeraora with Petal Blizzard, which is great against Calm Mind sets. Leech Seed lets me actually 1v1 Pokemon like Rabombi, Zeraora. I've even... Wait, no, that was a different set. Anyways, Synthesis lets me keep healthy, and combined with Leech Seed and Leftovers, you're healing like 60 to 70% per turn, which means that Shaman is just so hard to kill. And Baton Pass lets me get out of there in front of Pokemon like Goldengo or Hisuian Typhlosion. Now, my Pokemon that's mostly here to annoy Ogerpon and Garganacl, but is also really nice against defensive Mews, is this Tornado set. I have enough attack to do at least 50% to Goldengo just to scare it a little bit with Knockoff. I had Bleak Windstorm initially, but because of that Garganacl, I was just never clicking Bleakwind, so I'm like, I think I'd rather save the EVs and run less specially offensive Torn. So I have Knockoff, U-Turn, Toxic for setup Rabombi, and Foul Play because it does a bunch to set up Mew, and also to set up Ogerpon. Like if I accidentally give it a Defiant boost, like for example, if I Earth Power into Ogerpon. This is my dedicated lead in this matchup just because there's nothing that really smokes Terapagos, like matchup-wise, because of my Terra Shell. And I have Power Herb and Meteor Beam, which is awesome because it does a bunch to Togekiss and can tee up a 2-hit KO on that. So, Just like pretty simple. I'm faster than Goldango, max special attack, rest in defense, Terra Starstorm, mostly just because it hits things after they Terra. Meteor Beam, boosts the special attack and is the strong hit on Togekiss, and Earth Power hits all of his normal resists. I have Rapid Spin also for that if he wants to run Spike Ogerpon, I can Rapid Spin and then Meteor Beam and get a big chunk off and be like really threatening with Breaking Power early. My last Pokemon is kind of my T-Spike spot. This mon is a nice pivot into Hisuian Typhlosion, but primarily Iron Moth's goal here is just to set up Toxic Spikes because it wears down things like Defensive Mew, and even like an Assault Vest Boufflant, which was something that was giving me trouble early on. So yeah, those are the main 6 that I'm bringing in Game 1, but I do have 2 other Pokemon that I could sub in depending on the matchup. The one that I'm most likely to sub in for this matchup is Iron Hands. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention it. You have 8 Pokemon and you pick 6 for each game in the best of 3. For more details on how the best of 3 works, check out my previous video, which I'll link in the description. But yeah, Iron Hands. I have Mental Herb with Charge because boosting my special defense and being immune to Encore can make me a really dangerous setup sweeper. And I had some mocks where I genuinely just like sweep on like turn 5 just by charging, Swords Dancing, and there's just like nothing left because with the Terrifier I can't be burned, I resist Hisuian Typhlosion, and I'm just so tanky that I just win the 1v1s over and over and over again. So Iron Hands, great mon, and I didn't really know what to put in the last slot. Because of Garganacl and Boufflant, Mismagius didn't seem great, so I was like, alright, I guess I'll put Bisharp on, because the Defiant is kind of helpful into Sticky Webs, and you do have that priority, which can be nice in a pinch. I have Endure Custap. I didn't really think about the set that much. I was just like, hey, it could be a nice emergency button or something. I was like really unlikely to bring Bisharp into this matchup, because almost everything else was just substantially better. But yeah, those are the 8 Pokemon that I have in this matchup. Let's get on to the games, because I suspect that we might be here for a while. Alright, Game 1. First things I see, all the expected candidates, no Boufflant, which is kind of nice. But this team looks like a team that I have practiced against, which is good. I lead off with Terapagos because he has Garganacl, Mew, and Ogerpon. Those are the 3 Pokemon that can set up Hazard, so it's like, I'm definitely leading Terapagos just because it has the best matchup into all of the Hazard setters. Whoops. Let's see. Anything interesting on the Terra preview? It's Dragon Guard, which I did prep against, and he doesn't have any of his other Terra captains with him right now. I lead Terapagos into Zeraora, which is fantastic because Earth Power and Meteor Beam looks very free. So he fakes me out and breaks my Terra Shell immediately. I'm like, oh fuck. Because Terra Shell is so good, and Fake Out is such a good way of circumventing that I didn't even realize, and now I'm in a really bad spot. But I'm like, okay, this is fine. I did the calcs. I live a close combat from even Adamant Zeraora, so I'm like, I'm gonna go for Meteor Beam here because he could be expecting an Earth Power and go into Togekiss. So I go for Meteor Beam. I get knocked off. At this moment, I was like, fuck. I think I just lost Game 1. Because no exaggeration, this is so bad for momentum. I got literally, I'm getting literally 0 damage, and even worse, he's eject buttoning out, which means that I don't even get an opportunity to get a rocks or get a kill with. Sorry, eject packing out. I can't get rocks, I can't get a kill with Rhydon, nothing. I literally got nothing out of that turn. It's just a 5v6 now. 0 utility. No rocks, no chip, no hazards at all. Just like, it's so bad. No status conditions, nothing. So it's like, oh my god, this is so bad. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just have to, yeah, I just set up rocks here, just to try and scout. Psychic does a good chunk, and I miss a Dragon Tail, and I'm like, alright. Now, predicting a Togekiss, I go for Stone Edge here. I don't crit, and it does barely under half, so I'm like, okay. I think he's going to stay in to try and 1v1 my Rhydon. I don't die to this next Psychic, so I can't go for Stealth Rock. here to try and like intentionally sack myself. So I'm gonna go for Earthquake, try and low roll, and then I can just try and Calm Mind with Screamtail and try and just like immediately win, because that's like my only way back in this game. So Psychic doesn't kill Rhydon. I Earthquake and it high rolls. It high rolls the Mew, which is really bad because now I have a Rhydon that has no health left, absolutely nothing to do, and that's just Zeraora food. And Zeraora is yeah, that knockoff does a good chunk. There is no Leech Seed switching because there's no Goldengo, and the Togekiss takes rocks, which I didn't expect. I expected boots. So I Baton Pass to scout the item. Judging by the fact that my Baton Pass went before it, I was like, okay, it's probably not Scarf, and I go to just sack Rhydon, and he Tailwinds. I did actually fight Tailwind Togekiss in mocks, but it is rough to like have your opponent set up a free Tailwind on your sack. I go Torn here just because Torn has the Regenerator. I dodge the Serene Grace flinch, and I put Togekiss on a timer, which is really nice for Screamtail. And I bail out into Moth here to try and just get my T-Spike up. And he sets up another Tailwind. I really should have Sludge Waved, but I didn't want to risk him going into Garganacl. So yeah, he gets up another Tailwind, and I have no resist to this Mon, so I just have to let let Shaman die. And hi, Editing Avery here. I was a little bit crazy yesterday, so the recording is kind of like erratic. That turn against Typhlosion, I should have sacked Iron Moth instead of Shaman, because Shaman has that utility against Garganacl, Zeraora, and Ogerpon, while Iron Moth at this point only checks Togekiss. So it probably would have been better to sack Iron Moth, because that could have given me either a turn to just click stuff, or given me a better setup opportunity with Screamtail. But yeah, bye. And I U-turn out here. I probably should have gone into Moth since I can live exactly one attack from that Pokemon. Well, I am faster now, so I go for the Calm Mind. Zeraora uses Plasma Fists, and good lord, 48 is too much. So I just have to take the kill here, and one Calm Mind is significantly less than the 4 that I need, so I just kind of go into Torn here. I probably should have just Calm Minded, because Screamtail without the booster energy isn't beating Scarf Typhlosion anyways. But yeah, Garganacl is just gonna close this game out. There's like nothing I can do. I don't have the power. I try and predict it. I try and predict a Terra there. He just kills me. Like, and yeah, that was pretty catastrophic. After that abysmal turn 1, I was like, fuck. And I just was like bleeding throughout the rest of that game. So game 2, I'm like, okay, his team seemed pretty weak to Hands. Like, I could definitely get a cute Mental Herb thing going off here. So I bring in Hands over Shaman. I probably should have subbed out like Iron Moth for Hands or something like that instead. But I lead off with Rhydon this time, and he leads Mew, which means that I could have led off with Terapagos, but I was a coward. So we're gonna trade rocks here. And I believe I just go for my chip with Earthquake here. Yep. And then I think I go for Dragon Tail this turn. Yep. Dragon Tail, Mew's nice and low. Zeraora's out, but I don't believe I die to close combat. I could be wrong here, because I'm not that much HP. Yeah, I just fold to close combat. Might have been a roll, but it's whatever. And, like, Eject Pack, I cannot stress enough how terrible that is for me. Because, like, in testing, I was like, okay, Zeraora has to pick between getting chip on me and switching out, but with this I can do both, which adds so many 50-50s and makes it so scary. I go into Moth here, And I also had prepped against Earthquake Typhlosion. I probably should have gone like Terapagos or something like that because it was a free Meteor Beam. But instead I'm like, oh, I need to get my T-Spikes up, and I die. So it's like, great. And then I make another misplay here. I rip the Scream Tail immediately. Like, Ogerpon has taken exactly 0 damage. So it's like... And at this point I'm trying to win 50-50, as I was hoping that he would close combat into my substitute. Instead, he just... Oh my god, why did I Terra Electric substitute instead of Terra Electric Calm Mind? I mean, I guess that's why. But, like... It's not looking great at this point. I don't even kill Zeraora. And while Screamtail lives, again, I just don't have enough Calm Minds. If I was at +4, I won the game on the spot, but I'm noticeably not at +4, and he has Vacuum Wave Mew. So, yo, why didn't I go for the spin kill with Terapagos? Am I bad? I U-turn, I bring out Terapagos now, which is probably the worst time to bring out Terapagos. And Rabombi comes out, and I'm like, what? Where am I going? I mean, I guess that does make sense, because like if it Quiver Dances, I'm in a really bad spot. And uh-oh, it's Life Orb, and it 2 KOs. I was EV to live a +2 Rabombi Moonblast from full, which I can get very easily with Regenerator and Boots. But Life Orb just 2-hit KOs me, and it's like, oh god. And yet again, it's that opportunity cost, because I was like, oh, he can either set up or he can not 2-hit KO me. Instead, he doesn't need to spend the turn setting up, and he still 2-hit KOs me. So it's like, fuck. So, I go into Terapagos here because Terapagos can eat, and I Rapid Spin, which is a good chunk to Rabombi, and gives me the speed, and I Rapid Spin again because if he doesn't go into Typhlosion, then that's always my play. And I'm faster now. I think I just go for Earth Power to get the most possible damage. And I dodge a Stone Edge, which is really good. Because even though Iron Hands would have been able to get the kill, I can't Oko Ogerpon without a Swords Dance. So, and my Terra's already gone, so I would have been up to like whether or not Ivy Cudgel crit. So now he goes into Ogerpon, and I just Terra Starstorm it, bring it in range of Drain Punch. And now it's just Hands versus the world. Ivy Cudgel 1 doesn't crit, and they get my charge. Charge is important here because if I just Drain Punch, Typhlosion doesn't kill me, so that was a bad play. I should have just Drain Punched immediately, actually. God. I'm literally exhausted right now, and I'm realizing how many plays I fucked up. I was like, I think I was trying too hard. I was trying to be like, oh, I'll get this predict right and this predict right. And I was just constantly making predictions, and they were just all wrong. Like, every single prediction I made was wrong, which is kind of extraordinary. So, at this point I have to dodge a crit, and I do. I do dodge the crit. If he encored, then my Mental Herb would have cured it, and I would have won for sure. And Typhlosion takes the rocks, and because I'm charged up, I kill this on Flamethrower. The +1 special defense means that I eat, and Hands my goat closes out a game again. But even this one, I was like, oh god, like I still am in such a bad spot, and I don't think my spot is getting any better, because like I won, but like barely. So game 3, I was just like hoping. And I see, what's the big difference that I see? Oh my god, am I stupid? Oh yeah, no Garg. No Garg, which means that Iron Moth looks really, really good here. Like, T-Spikes own Hisuian Typhlosion. Mew gets chipped down very quickly. Zeraora, if it is not Boots, which means it takes T-Spike and rocks. Ogerpon can't break Torn. So it's like, this looks like a really good matchup for Iron Moth. So, I lead off with Terapagos again, and it's Ogerpon, and what I didn't want to happen was him U-turning into one of the ghost types as I click Terra Starstorm. So, I believe what I go for here is Earth Power. Oh my god. Yeah, zero successful predictions, I swear. Like, I just go Torn here, as he gets up a spike, which means, which is just bad. I knock off, which does scare gold, and reveal the choice scarf, and since I know I'm faster because I knocked the scarf, I just U-turn into Moth, because I wasn't expecting Side Shock, and he steals my boots, which is pretty cool. I think I just Fiery Dance here, which is a good chunk to Typhlosion, and I go Rhydon here, because Rhydon eats Earthquake and Eruption, and I think I just get my rocks up here, makes sense, and I go back into Torn, because, again, I don't want to lose my Rhydon. And I go for Knock because I don't have Bleak Wind. And Cudgel crits brings me low, but it doesn't really matter because I have that Regenerator. So I can U-turn out, and now I end up sacking Rhydon to the Cudgel so I can get that momentum with the... What? Where am I going? Where am I... Yo, what? Where did... Where am I going? Oh my god, y'all. This is, like, actually atrocious. I don't know how I let myself get away with this. I maybe don't play sleep deprived games really early on in the day. But even, like, on top of that, I was trying to play, like, 5D chess, so I was like, oh, I can make a billion wrong plays and Screamtail will still win. Even though 2 times in a row, it's shown, like, Matt's team has shown that he does not lose to Screamtail immediately. So it's like, I don't know what I'm cooking here. Like, I had the free Torn, I would have gotten more Regenerator recovery, which would have been nice for Ribombee and Mew. Could even live a hit from Typhlosion because the rocks are up. I threatened the gold after run more rocks with a knockoff. U-turn out on Zeraora. Instead, I just lost my Terapagos for no reason. I'm not faster. Like, it's not even like I went to Moth and risked a speed tie out of Stomping Tantrum. Because, okay, in my week 8 match, I was, like, taking notes, like, really aggressively and stuff like that, like, trying to scout for information and stuff like that. And in this, I would, like, sack a Pokemon and be like, ooh, yes, I've gotten so much information now. But, like, the problem is, yeah, you got the information, but how are you gonna win? I forgot to win. I was, like, focused so hard on getting the information, I was like, aha, I've discerned almost your entire set. Now I'm able to win. It's like, you already lost. You lost all of your Pokemon, though. You can't win now. So, atrocious play there. Because, yeah, I go Torn and I U-turn anyways, so it's like, what am I doing here? I go into Moth here. Zeraora comes out. I do barely live Plasma Fists. No, I don't. I lied, actually, because I got crit. Notice how 88% is barely not living. I lied to you. It was actually part of my masterful gambit. So I'm fucked. Like, yeah, that's so bad. Because instead of getting chip on Zeraora, which would have meant that Screamtail gets setup opportunities on literally everything else, instead it is looking almost over. I think I just go for the Swords Dance here with hands because I have to. And oh my god. Yeah, this turn is I'm fucked. Like, I'm so fucked. Because, like, if Zeraora had to stay in or had to go hard for Bombi, it was fine because, like, I Swords Dance, I'm still at full. Then I Terrafire, then I can, like, Drain Punch on Ribombee, like, trying to predict Terra, or to, like, Thunder Punch, or Charge even. Terrafire Charge. Instead, he gets to get 30% off on my hands for free, and now Life Orb Ribombee is in, and my hands is at less than half after I switch out on the spikes. So it's like, I was hoping that he'd go for Terra Ground, Terra Blast, in which, like, Terra Fire hands wouldn't save me anyway, so I was, like, saving my Terra for Screamtail, because that's my only win condition at this point. I go into Screamtail here, because, like, okay, this is Screamtail's last chance. Moonblast does 30%. That means that after a Calm Mind, it'll be doing about 25%, and I should be able to get up to +3, which should be enough to kill just about everything. So it's just like, I Calm Mind again, and you see, it doesn't actually do 25% because, oh my god, y'all. I was cooked. I I made a lot of misplays, failed every single prediction. Like, literally, I got every single prediction wrong. Spent way too much time trying to get information that I forgot to try and win the match. And at the end of the day, I just ran out of juice. And Moonblast gets a special attack drop. That's insult to injury. Like, Rabambi dies, but the Zeraora comes in and fake out. Yeah, not even a stored power crit can save me there, because now Plasma Fist will just kill my Zeraora. Sorry, kill my Tornado Syrian. And that's it. I brought it to game 3, but my plays caught up to me, and we are out at 3rd. I mean, I'm really happy with how I performed with this team. Like, from week 3, I started noticing, I was like, God, there are some problems with this team. And I tried to repair them with Miss Magius, but, like, it was just not enough. I think early on, I was, like, messing around with, like, around week 3, week 4, with, like, a team that has, like, Gengar and Crocodile on it. Like, traded for Moth and Blastoise or something like that. That probably would have been better. But either way, I'm still really happy with this team. I don't think I used Screamtail or Terapagos to the fullest. Like, Terapagos came out swinging from week 2, being the kill leader, but over time it was just, like, failing to get the utility that I wanted, and I don't know. Maybe I was just building poorly. I don't think I was building that poorly, but, like, I think it was also, like, a team problem. My team, my first pick was Iron Hands, which is a nice breaker, but having Hands forced to be your dedicated win condition is really bad, because Hands is slow, and that, like, literally, Hands is slow. So, like, you can Sword Stance, you can Drain Punch, but then when you have to fight, like, a Psychic type and 2 Ghost types, it's like, god damn it, I can't Drain Punch, and like, if I keep taking 25% from each Pokemon, yeah, I'm getting 3 kills, but then, like, my win condition is dead. So, yeah, in matchups where I couldn't afford to use, like, Nasty Plot Miss Magius, or, like, Calm Mind Terapagos, having to rely on Hands and Screamtail to win is rough, because Screamtail is weak and Hands is slow, and those are not the 2 things you want out of your main win conditions. So, I think it was definitely a drafting problem. I probably could have drafted a bit of a better team, but also I think it was a learning experience, because looking back at all of my previous teams, I have that same weakness where my win condition isn't that good. Like, it's a scary win condition in practice, but, like, if your opponent has, like, the one right thing that you need, you just have no win condition, and that's what leads to all those ratchet end games that I had in, like, week 4, week 5, week 6, where it's like, God, I just hope I do enough damage and predict the terrestrialization, because if not, then I just can't do enough damage and I end up losing. So it's like, yeah, like, I did get unlucky, but I got every predict wrong. I didn't have a great team for this, so it's like, I'm content, like, and especially because Matt is, like, one of my best friends, I feel, like, surprisingly okay with it. Like, normally I don't take losses well, but I do think that this league is a learning experience, and I'm super happy to have done as well as I did, because even, like, starting, like, week 4, when I knew that I had 3 weeks left, I was like, God, I don't know if I can make playoffs, just because I started seeing the cracks in my team, but I just couldn't fix them, because that would require a complete shift in how the team works, and it would have actually probably resulted in worse matchups in certain cases. Anyways, that's my yapping. Thank you all for watching these 9 videos. It's been a fun journey. Merry Christmas for those who celebrate. I guess. I mean, I'm not Christian. I'm yapping. I'm not Christian, but I do celebrate Christmas because I'm a rebel. Peace out, everybody. Have a nice day. Like, the next league I'm gonna be in, I'm probably not gonna make videos for it just because it's kind of exhausting, and you can probably tell that by the fact that I had essentially no team builder this week. Like, I just got kind of, like, burnt out. Like, it was, like, the 1 week offset definitely made it easier to actually make the videos, but, like, it was like hard being like, okay, I gotta prep for this match. Oh, and also I have to make the video for last week, and then I have to edit it, then I have to make the thumbnail, then I have to schedule it, and then I have to make sure that I can actually win, because if I just get 6-0, that doesn't make for great videos. So it's like kind of a balancing act. Big respect to people who can just do that. I mean, it's probably easy if you're doing like live battles where it's like you're commentating as you play. I cannot do that. When I play, I am like usually like deadly silent. But I've yapped for long enough. I will see y'all whenever I do. But for the last time this league, peace.